Hi and welcome to the pit. Thanks so much for joining me, and today we're going to be doing some low and slow pork butt. Now ideally you want to get your local butcher to get a bone-in pork shoulder, but one thing we're doing on this channel is seeing what results we can get when we have to grab ingredients on short notice. So today we'll be using a couple of supermarket boned rolled shoulders, so let's see how they turn out. So let's get this skin off, because that's going to do nothing good on a low and slow. The skin just essentially goes really tough and inedible. So yeah, as I said, the best thing would be to get a bone in, but we're in the UK. Planning a barbecue is tantamount to saying, oh, it's going to rain. So we have to go with what we've got. So we need to get this skin off. So I go with a somewhat flexible knife and go in underneath. There we go. Try and keep as much meat off the skin as possible. There we go. It's not the most riveting thing to watch, I appreciate. But this is what you have to do, is this stuff is going to make amazing crackling. So you want to get it off this and cook it separately. Because why the heck would you waste crackling? Beyond me. Just carry on working it across, and you always come to a point, usually on the back end of a butt, where it becomes much trickier to separate the meat and the skin. Just about here. So there we go. So we got it over here. Spin it around, and you see here you got that chunk of meat underneath here. So you have to take it back to the outside, get right on the edge again, excuse the sniffs please, I have a back end of a cold, so just get in there again. You could do with sharpening this knife a little bit, but there you go. What this channel's all about. We do with what we got. There we are. My next video should be on sharpening knives. I didn't realise this one had got quite so blunt. God, Lord. Anyway. Oh, hello. Most important thing. Don't forget the chef's libation. Yeah, that makes it so much better. You know what? Enough with that knife. Where's my big knife? Here we go. Proper sharp knife. I don't know why I bothered with that one to begin with, to be honest. It's good when it's sharp. When it's not sharp, it's blooming awful. So you want to end up with something pretty clean like that. So essentially you want the minimum meat on the crackling. Then we will end up rolling this back to make a butt. And again, yes, it's always better if you can get a bone-in butt, but planning, the UK, weather and all the rest of it, sometimes you just have to go out to a supermarket and get what you can get. And that makes a damn good butt. We've skinned them both. We have 2 pork butts here ready. Please do not criticise my tying. I am no butcher, I know that, but it holds it all together and that's all that matters. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, I have an injection here in the syringe, and the injection is, hold on, from Angus & Oink Meat Collab, the OMG barbecue pork. Yeah, no, they're not sponsors, nothing else, just good stuff. End of story. I don't get paid anything for this stuff, I just like eating good food. End of story. So, then we'll just go and we will inject into the pork. Ooh. I'm going to kick back a bit. Time for a refill, both on the injector and in me. We'll be back in a minute to do the rub. So, they're all injected up. Next stage is rubbing. So I go backwards and forwards between rubbing an hour or 2 hours before, rubbing overnight, and I actually like to rub overnight, and the main reason is I like to rub it again in the morning. So overnight you wrap them all up and they start to sweat and the salt gets the moisture to the surface, and then you rub them again. It just gets a thicker bark. So yeah, it's horses for courses. You can rub them the day you're doing them, or you can rub them the day before. It's entirely up to you. But the 2 rubs I'll be using are Bad Byron's Butt Rub and Meat Collab Porky White. So again, you choose the rub that you want to use, and it doesn't have to be anything more than just salt, pepper and paprika if you want, or just salt and pepper, whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's what I do. So let's get on and rub them and take it from there. So we're at the pit this morning. I've taken out the pork, been rubbed for a second time, got everything sorted, pit is up to temperature, so let's get the meat on. Right. Lid back on. And I'm going to be running some applewood chips. So I'll pop some in and we should hopefully get some of that nice smoke rolling. There we go, and I'll put some more applewood chips in, probably another twice during the first couple of hours, just to really get that smoke flavour in there. So let's see where we are in a few hours. So we are about 4 hours in now. We will be coming upon something called the stall shortly. The stall basically is where the the fat within the meat gets to a certain point of rendering, and it stalls the temperature for a good long period of time. Normally it'll stay at a specific temperature for around about 2 hours, something like that, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then at that point you can either choose to wrap it up to push it through the stall, as they say, or you can just let it run. I personally, if I'm not in a hurry, prefer to just let it run, keep the bark nice and crisp. When you wrap it up, it can soften the bark a little, so yeah, here we go. At 4 hours, everything's looking good. Right, please excuse my voice. I've nearly lost my voice today, so but we are now at about 200, just over 200. These girls are ready to come off, and I'll be wrapping them in foil, probably double wrap and then wrapped in blankets, put into a cooler, and then we'll see in about an hour and a half's time. Let's see how they shred. Right guys, so the payoff. Was it all worth it? Can a supermarket rolled shoulder beat decent barbecue butt? Let's see. So, here we go. After about an hour and a half wrapped, let's see what we got. Well, there we go. There is the bark. Now, the reason I don't normally wrap is this. A proper bark. It's not a soft bark. It's actually a rigid bark. So let's see what we've got inside. So take the bear claws. You can see, you can probably hear the squelching. So, I obviously missed a tie. That's not like me. There we go. Let's get my ties off there, because you don't need them anymore, because this is just falling apart. Yeah, there we go. It's just fall apart tender. There we go. So, is this proper pulled pork? Well, you make up your own mind. Does that look like decent pulled pork? It'll do. Certainly for a supermarket, I've got no problem with that. I'm sorry for eating, but at the end of the day, you can't shred pork and not eat some, and that tastes not half bad. So, recapping, it's great if you can get bone in. It will be a better product at the end, but this is still so tender and so tasty. Decent bark, and again, wait for it to focus. There we go. A good bark is down to the rub. And excuse me, just so moist, so tender, so blooming hot. Yeah. Really good pulled pork. Is it better when you have a bone in? Yes. But at the end of the day, we all want to barbecue. We all want to get good results. And if what you can do is get down to your supermarket and get a rolled pork, then get your rolled pork. Because you can still get a damn tasty meal. Rehashing, run it between 230, 245, ran in the end for about 10 hours. End temp was about 201, 202, wrapped for an hour and a half in foil in a cool box. Produced great pulled pork. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's great to be able to do these things and share it with you guys, and I hope you want to come back. If you do, I've got a load of really unusual stuff planned. Lots of European barbecue, lots of strange things, not necessarily your normal. So please subscribe, come back, and let's do it again sometime. Thanks for everything.